Speaking of proving every man a liar, uh, you guys remember all those Apollo 13 movies and even watching the supposed space shuttles, when they re entered Earth's atmosphere, they'd be all shaking around, and they have those black tiles on the bottom of the space shuttles. So, because the going through that atmosphere is so hot and so intense that it would melt the space shuttle. So they have to put these special tiles on the bottom of it, and it's so rough. And if they don't hit the exact precise angle and speed, it would blow up. So they have to be precise in re-entering the atmosphere. And then we just had Richard Branson go up in his plane rocket deal, and if you watch that video, man, when they re-entered the atmosphere, wow, it was so smooth, just like a little airplane ride, just nice and smooth, no shaking or bouncing, no heat protective shields on the bottom of that thing, flimsy looking wings, and just a huge difference between the look of that plane versus the space shuttles, isn't it? And the fact that they can't go to the moon again. Um, they keep postponing it and postponing it, even though they supposedly went back in the 1960s. Well, they lost the technology, and well, now the excuse they just came out with is, well, they had to redo the spacesuits, and they're having problems getting the spacesuits put together because of the COVID virus slowed everything down, slowed the process down. So they pushed off the it was going to be 2020 22 when they were going to go back to the moon, but they pushed it off to 2024 now because it's going to take that long to get all the people back together to finish the spacesuits that they're creating, because apparently the spacesuits they had in the 1960s, I guess they needed way better ones or something. I don't know, but apparently it's going to take 4 years to make those. Uh, do you see how ridiculous it is? I mean, how absolutely ridiculous it is. It, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Prove every man a liar. And the word NASA in Hebrew actually means to deceive. So I mean, there you go. Um, yeah, so that's an interesting point on the space shuttle. And then when you look at then you look at Elon Musk and the rocket landings, right? With what do they call it, the Dragon or whatever they called it, right? And when he landed it vertically on the ocean pad, on a pad on the ocean, it literally came back down and landed perfectly straight, just like you'd see in a 1950s uh, space movie. I mean, it was pathetically ridiculous of how fake that looked and how impossible that would be. Yet people buy everything they see on the television from this pancramic coronavirus. It's to the wearing these things are actually gonna help. I mean, it's just they buy everything. They buy all these lies, and it's absolutely ridiculous. People don't use the old noggin anymore. And if the funny thing is, if we didn't if we didn't own one of these boxes, these TVs, you went outside, you went shopping, nobody would know the difference. Nothing has changed. Nothing is different. But the power of the mass media, the power of propaganda, is a very powerful tool. And that's why, if you actually do a little more research, you find out who invented and patented the internet. It was the Department of Defense. And there's a reason why they call it television programming. There's also a patent on that for military application to convince people things, to actually, what's the word I'm looking for? To plant a seed in their brain to actually think a different way. And it works. It's been proven to work. So that's another interesting thought as well.